All right, a little bit ago, I made reference to the realtor being the plug. Well, in this video, I want to give an example of exactly what I mean. So I believe if you had a right mindset as a realtor, which we'll talk about in another video, you'll be afforded a lot of opportunities to build wealth while also helping others. I want to tell y'all about this deal that I did. So I had listed a house and I was trying to sell it, but I could not sell it for nothing, right? It was a great house, but the lady, she had a foreclosure on it. So we was under a strict timeline, right? And I thought it would have sold, right? And I wouldn't think it would even be a house that I could flip, but I ended up buying it to flip. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So the house, the reason it wouldn't sell initially is because it was like, red paint, and it was, a lot of decor. It was nice decor, but it was a lot of it. And the culture of the decor, it was people that weren't of the same culture coming in looking at the property. So they were like, this looks like a museum. So they just were turned off by the property. And it was like, when I tell you, we had over at least 50 showings, right? We had like 30 in the first week. So I just knew that the house would sell, but it didn't. So the client, I was trying to, try to talk her into, taking some stuff down, and it took a while to do it. So while I was sitting on the market, when it sits on the market for a long time and then people come and see it, even if you change whatever, because it took us like 45 days to even change the stuff. If you change whatever, people gonna look at the property like, what's wrong with it? Why has it been on the market so long? Especially in a hot market that we've been coming out of, because I think I listed this in like May. It's October now, right? People were looking at it like, why has it been on the market so long? I had so many people ask me that. So I'm like, man, how can I help this lady, And I ran the numbers because I'm like, she not gonna want to sell me this house, And honestly, when I listed it initially, I wasn't in that mindset, because I remember the Lord telling me, focus on your retail. So I have been focusing on my retail, building my systems and stuff. And then I told y'all about my partnership where the Lord led me to start flipping houses with my partner. So I'm sitting there talking to the lady one day, and I'm like, it just dropped in me like, buy it and flip it. And I'm like, okay. But I fought with myself because I'm like, she not gonna want to do this. Why is she gonna sell it to me for under market value? And so I started running the numbers, and I'm like, if I can do a short sale on it, then the numbers may work to where she can still get the same amount of money she would get if she would have sold it on the market for the amount that she was gonna sell it for when she first dropped the price. So I'm like, okay, so I might can make this work, right? So I brung it to her, talked to her about it, and she was like, all right, cool, let's do it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we did it, and then I applied for the short sale. So this is another strategy I want to tell y'all about. So when it is a first mortgage, and the first mortgage is in foreclosure, you can 9 times out of 10 get that second mortgage to do a short sale. Any second lien, I've done it time after time after time when I'm helping people out in foreclosure. What people don't know is when the first mortgage forecloses, that second mortgage, they don't have a right to the property anymore after that person's redemption period is up. So they will actually have to go after the person to get the money. And it's slim chances that they'll ever get the money. So they'll settle for whatever. And when I was talking to one of the supervisors, he was like, yeah, they usually look for about 10%. So 10% on the dollar, they'll give you, so she owed $20,000. I had offered $3,000. I should have offered $2,000, but I didn't know that then. But the supervisor was like, they'll take $10,000. So on a $20,000 loan, they'll take a $2,000, payoff. So that's something for y'all to know, real estate agents, when you're negotiating short sales and stuff. And you have the upper hand. You just got to keep throwing in their face like, hey, you ain't going to get no money if it foreclosed. We got this amount of time. Come on, push it to close. So that's what I did. I did that. I did the short sale. So I was able to turn the $20,000 to $3,000. And that was the way for me to get her the money that she wanted, on the property. So I did that. And now we're doing about 4 to 5 flips right now, right? And this one has been the hardest. Like, it was hard selling it, And it's also hard now going through it. And I just started thinking through, remember I told y'all, you know, about my house and the situation with my house and my faith failure and all that. So I started thinking about, like, you know, it being so close to her, because when I had the idea, it was like a month or so left in the redemption period, right? So we have not had this many problems with no deal we did, like none, right? But I feel like, honestly, like, this is my way of paying the devil back, you know, because he was able to get me all flustered and in fear over my house. So me helping this lady to save her house from foreclosure is like my payback, right? So I'm like fully invested in it. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I can. I don't care what hurdle I jump over. I feel like it's a barrier I have to break, right? And I think it's important to know, like, in real estate and everything, you gotta be able to, for one, be creative, and for two, you have to not give up. Like, I don't care what door shut on me, I'm gonna kick it open, you know? And so a lot of people don't do that. They just turn it back like, oh, next deal. Nah, I'm gonna find a way to make it work. So I was able to buy it, and I believe it's gonna open so many other doors up for me, because my goal, I remember being in the shower when I was going through the deal with my house, when I was losing my house, or what, like, quote unquote, supposed to lose it, right? And I remember the Lord saying, you know, you're gonna be able to help so many people, you know, because you went through it. You know how it feels. I can identify, even though, like, I didn't lose my house and it wasn't me that went in foreclosure, but I was in a situation where I could have lost the home that I was living in because of, you know, some people making some bad mistakes, you know? So it just really opened my eyes to what people go through, so I can really empathize and have compassion for what they're going through and try to help them, you know? And so it opened up the door, because we have another property that I'm going to look at where I'm able to actually get their property. I listed it and it couldn't sell, and I'm like, oh, maybe we can get their property and do the same thing to it. So it just opened up a different mindset around, you know, things like, because I never would have thought to get a listing that was decent and flip it, you know, but I was able to make the numbers work. So it's all about numbers, right? And so it's so important. It's so important, again, to go into properties with the right mindset. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. If y'all want to see more content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I drop new content.